I learn more about myself and about the world and just about everything in life, I really have been, pondering on this question, almost this philosophical question. Are we only living because we're afraid to die? And that kind of hit me like big time. And I realized that no, I'm not only living because I'm afraid to die, but what about earlier in my life, right? At certain points in my life. And I think, yes, I was only living because I was afraid to die. I think the biggest thing for me to understand of like, why am I living? It's to fulfill and, just succeed in general and to accomplish my goals. If you have no goal set and you're not doing anything productive and you're just, trying to, live life to the fullest, you are living because you're afraid to die. That is the truth. That is what that defines to a T. But if you're someone who is living and is productive and is pursuing their goals and then they're, living life to the fullest with that extra part, you know, that is not being afraid to die because they're just living life truly. It's almost finding your passions and just fulfilling it. This is what it is. We have to stop like taking this, turn for the worst and like this. I'm just gonna drink my life away or smoke my life away. Like I don't think drinking is bad. I don't think partying is bad. It's just the intentions behind it is what's bad. I know kids drink just so I can have fun. Like, bro, you don't need that. You can have fun sober. But if you just want to drink with your boys or have a wine night with your girls or whatever it is, or just go to the bar and like have beers, whatever, like yeah, that's fine. But a lot of the time it's like I'm gonna drink so then I can go, have confidence and like, be someone I'm not because I'm, chemically intoxicated and stuff like that, and then I'm gonna have confidence to talk to a girl. Right? Like that's not a good intention. That's not what you should be doing it for. Because I know people who just drink and like they just are still themselves. They still have. They're not doing it just they have fun. They just enjoy it. Like yeah, go do it. Like 100%. They're not looking to get with girls all the time. They're not doing any of that. I'm like that's great. I do like to see that because that's them just living their life and enjoying what they like to do. It's simple. But I do see the other half of what I was just talking about before, like all the time, like more often than not. And it's just sad to see a lot of the time. It kind of hurts me in a way knowing that like, there was a point in time where I was there, and the only way of me getting out of that was looking myself in the mirror and just being disgusted, right? And I'm not calling anybody like that disgusting or anything. I'm not judging. I'm just trying to give advice, right? But back to the question of, you know, are you only living your life because you're afraid to die? Is, you really got to just take a step back and look at your life and understand what are you doing in a whole, right? Like when I, look at my life and I look at the stuff I do in a day and, everything I think about or do or pursue, right? What is my purpose at the end of the day? Right? Am I afraid to die? All these questions that come to my head. And to answer those two that I just said, my purpose, I truly believe my purpose is to help people and help them with mental health or help them with physical health or just whatever it is, just help people in general, right? And I think, am I afraid to die? I'm not afraid to die. But I'm not afraid to die because of, I know where I'm going with my beliefs and my Lord and Savior, right? I'm not telling you to be religious, but I think, even just having that idea of like, is everything I'm doing in life worth it, before I die? Because look, if you're just thinking like, oh, I'm a party and stuff, and then I'm gonna die, like, you realize the partying and all that stuff, that living it up, it only lasts for, 15 years. It's from the age of 15 to the age of 30. You still got another 40 years left. Maybe more if you're lucky. You know what I mean? Like, it's a long time to be, stuck or not where you want to be. Because a lot of time you're going to be stuck at a job that you don't enjoy because you never really locked in when you were younger. Because the partying, the drinking, the girls will still always be there. But at a certain point, you got to just grow up or, find different, enjoyments. Not even like that, but it's just not gonna be the same environment. But, the working and stuff, you're just getting a late start. So a lot of the times when you like young kids start working or start businesses or stuff like that, they're usually very successful because they have so much more time on their hands to, make it successful, right? If, an 18-year-old starts a business and it takes him 10 years to succeed, he succeeds at 28 years old. But if you were to start that at 30, he wouldn't succeed till he's 40. And you can say, well, 40 is not that bad, but when you're 30 years old and you're failing within those 10 years, who says you're going to make it those 10 years? You know what I mean? Who says you're not going to give up within those 10 years? You get what I'm saying? And that's just a thing that I want to touch on in this. The other thing I was really, pondering on with this question is, if you're living, right, if you're not afraid to die and you're just actually living your life, how are you living it to the fullest? And like, what do I mean by that? But I mean by, like, are you giving your all into everything you do? Like, not just sports, not just the gym, not just school, like every aspect of your life. Because a lot of the time we don't give 110% effort to our mental health or ourselves. And it's a sad scenario. That's just the truth, though. A lot of the time we think, I'm going to put 110% into sports. That's all I need to give. I'll give 80 in school. I'll give, 50 towards my friends. I'll give, this, that, whatever. And you just forget about yourself, And I think all sections, all areas, it should be 110% every single time. You should never slack. I don't care how exhausted you get. It's just how it should be. You should always be giving full effort no matter what. Because then that's actually living your life to the fullest, knowing that you're giving everything you can give. You're doing everything in your ability. There's nothing more you can do. And that's living. And whatever that is, right? I always like to think of the analogy, like, when you take a shit, right? You're wiping your ass, like, you're gonna wipe at 50%? No. You're gonna wipe at 100% every single time because it's just the truth. So why would you not care about your mental health or your physical health or yourself in general at 110%? It's the same scenario. Because you feel the need to, I don't need to. You don't need to. Well, I don't need to get a job and I don't need to, work, or I don't need to, care about my life at all for the next 50 years if I really, want to, and I can just live homeless. I don't really need a house. I could live for a while homeless or not making any money. I don't really need it. It's the dumbest, that's a terrible, ideology or a terrible mindset. Why are you thinking like that? It's not about what you need. It's about, what is best for you. Not even what's best for you, but of what are you willing to put in. Because I guarantee you what you put into yourself now is not 110%. It's probably nowhere near even 70. And then when you start to put 100% into yourself, that's when your life changes forever. And that's truth. That's just the straight up truth. Because I always have a lot of people ask me, like, how did I, gain this mentality, or how did I, get to this point in my life? And I could, bring back all the scenarios and all the things that built me to this person. But I'm going to say one of the biggest things was just giving myself 100% effort. Fixing myself and trying to be the best version of myself with 100%. That's something that you rarely see in today's world. Whether that's learning random things or just, finding passions, I don't really care what people think of me or if people make fun of me or anything, because I know making this video, I can understand that there's people making fun of me. I can depict certain people that are making fun of me. I know the exact people that are making fun of me, but I can depict that there is many more people making fun of me, and that's okay. Because I love doing this, because I know that there's some people that are struggling out there that this will really help. And that's what matters to me. It's not about the people that make fun of me. It's about the people that I help. Because I do have people that make fun of me and, clown me or say this and that about me. And then on the other hand, they don't see the private conversations I have with other people that are struggling and how much I help them. And I'm not trying to give me glory or anything, because I have none of the glory. All glory to God for, giving me this knowledge and allowing me to be put in the position to help these people. But what matters is I'm being fulfilled because I just want to help people. And helping those people makes my entire year. Sometimes it brings me to tears, with how happy I am that I'm really making a difference in this person's life. You know, I was the spark that they needed, or they needed to just hear the right words, and I was able to do that. You know, rather than me caring about what people think of me. Because if I were to stop today, I mean, there's probably more than one person, but there's one person that fell short of hearing my knowledge or hearing the things that could have helped them, right? And that's just sad, and I don't want that to happen, so I'll never stop, right? I'll do this till the day I die if I have to, or I will because I want to. And that's what part of me is, you know, living my life to the fullest, is helping people. That's, you know, me not living because I'm afraid to die. It's me living because, you know, I just want to live and I want to experience the life and enjoy it to the fullest, right? There's no fear being involved. It's just joy, smiles, laughter, you know, and occasional pain and occasional emotions because that's part of it. And just, you know, really grinding my way, giving everything 100%, you know, gritting my way to the end until, you know, it's all over. And that's when I'm, you know, laying on my deathbed and I'm thinking to myself about my entire life. You know, am I going to sit there and think like, damn, what could have been, you know, what I could have been? Or am I going to think to myself like, damn, like, I made it, like I did everything I wanted to do. I didn't leave an ounce of effort in the tank. I gave it all. All the effort was given. Everything was given. It's that simple. So the question is, are you only living because you're afraid to die?